everyone, and welcome to another edition of AHSAA TV Weekly. I'm your host, Susan Carruthers, and we've got a great lineup scheduled for this episode, so let's get right into all of the action. Check in with head coaches and players from this week's Auburn and Central Phoenix City AHSAA TV Network Game of the Week. That'll include Coach Patrick Nix of Central Phoenix City and Auburn High School's Coach Keith Etheridge and lineman Braden Joyner. Also joining us today are Pike County High School head football coach Mike Hurt and outstanding junior wide receiver Ian Foster. And we'll close this week's show with another batch of Holtzford's highlights from last week's high school football and volleyball action. We'll be right back with all of that in just a moment.
Retirement planning, investment planning, education planning, ad valorem, blah, 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 blah. Financial planners love to show their version of a perfect retirement, but what about your perfect retirement? At AmFirst Financial, we'll get to know you first, so we can make a plan for the person you'll be years from now, and future you will be glad we planned ahead. So call AmFirst Financial today. You'll thank you later.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
We are so pleased to welcome into the program today Pike County High School head football coach Mark Hurt and outstanding senior wide receiver Ian Foster. Welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, you guys have already obviously enjoyed a lot of success this season. You're still in the playoffs, but Coach, I want to look back a little bit and see that you left one of the top football programs in the state to return to your hometown and take over this team. So tell me a little bit about how that process worked and what made you think that you could turn the Bulldogs around.
Well, Pike County has a tradition of having great athletes and great players like Ian. And I didn't think it would really be hard. I just thought, when I talked to some of the people in the administration, they just felt I had two objectives: to get the team together and get the players back out and to get the community back. So that was my ultimate objective. And I just knew winning would come because we always have talented players here.
Well, you and Ian, along with the rest of the team, you guys have turned a lot of naysayers into believers this year. So, Coach, tell me a little bit about Ian's contributions to this team.
Well, I mean, he's definitely the team leader right now in yards and touchdowns. He's an awesome athlete. He has a lot of motivation, a lot of drive. And, he comes from a family. If you're from a small town like this, you have families or bloodlines that have done great throughout the years. And he just happens to come from one of those athletic families, and he's done an awesome job this year for us.
Well, that's great. Ian, we introduced you as a wide receiver, but I have here that you also are a kick returner, a defensive back, and a running back. So how do you do it all?
Just comes from playing every position for the past years. Wanting to learn every position is to learn how to beat myself on the other side of the ball. So it makes make it easier when I have to go against the next person.
Well, Coach, I understand that your team has 3 losses this year and that all of those losses were just by 1 point. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
So obviously you make it to the playoffs. You continue to enjoy success thus far in the playoffs. But talk to me about those losses, all by 1 point. Do you think that motivated your team? Did it discourage you? Just how did that feel to kind of go through those 1 point losses?
Well, I just feel like it was a process that we had to go through. Had we won the games, maybe we wouldn't be where we are now. But we just accepted it for what it was. We just knew we had to improve in different areas. We look at the mistakes that we made to lose those games by 1 point, and we just started to improve in those areas. So, no one wants to lose, but we just knew that if we were losing by 1 point, we were very close, and we just had to work and work on certain things, and I think that helped us in the long run.
Well, you've got a game this Friday night against Mobile Christian. Ian, what do you think your team needs to do to win this game Friday night?
Stick together, work together hold each other accountable, come out great and just start out fast, hard and strong, and finish strong. Everybody needs to count on each other and play a role. Playing a role can take us a long way and help us get the win.
Well, Coach Hurt and Ian, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, we congratulate you on your continued success, and we hope to see you at the end of the month in Jordan-Hare Stadium for the Super 7. But thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you. And go Dogs.
All right, we are so excited to welcome to the program now Coach Patrick Nix from Central Phoenix City. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your big win over Enterprise last week. That's going to help you advance to the semifinals. And that is actually Central Phoenix City's 8th time in a row to the semifinals, and I believe it's your 3rd straight year. Is that right?
I guess. There have been quite a few on both sides. Just thankful to be here, thankful to have the opportunity for sure.
Awesome. So what do you think is the secret to your school's success year after year?
I think when you have the success that we've had, there's so many things from administration to community to having very good players, to having very good, facilities. I mean, there's so many that the city does so much for us as far as, having the unbelievable stadium and what they do for us over there. So I think that there's so many things that go into it. It's not just a football team. It's not just players. It's not just coaches. It's the whole thing. It's the whole school, the whole environment of wanting to have success and expecting that success, but also giving us the things that we need to have success.
Right. Well, I understand that it takes a village, so obviously you've got a good one there. Your next challenge is going to be this Friday night against Auburn. Now, this is actually a rematch. This time it'll be the AHSAA TV Network Game of the Week. Last time you played Auburn, you won 38-17. So what do you think your team needs to do in order to win this rematch?
I think it comes down to just like everything. Anytime you have a big game, you have to protect the football. You have to make tackles and not give up big plays, and be solid in special teams. Football is a very simple game that a lot of times we make very difficult. And so we just got to make sure that we do those simple things and continue to execute and protect the football and tackle and not give up big plays. And when you do those things, you find ways to win.
Well, like you said, if you do those simple things and you're able to execute, the prize will be getting to travel to Auburn and play in Jordan-Hare Stadium for the Super 7 championship game. And obviously with your history, I understand that's a special place for you. So tell us a little bit about what it would feel like to coach your team in that stadium.
It'd be great for the school community, the senior class, to be able to make it back. I think that they've put a lot of work into it. And, anytime your goal going into the season is to make that game, and when you make that game, it's very satisfying, very rewarding. And so I think that it's not just for me. Yeah, it's a special place for me, but just making it to that game, making it to the end. Making your goal, I think, is what's so satisfying and rewarding in this profession.
Well, you are part of a strong coaching legacy. Your dad coached you in high school. You were able to coach your boys, your sons, but also, I'm sure you feel that all of your players are your boys. So what are some of those things that maybe your dad passed down to you that you were able to pass down to your boys, both your sons and all of your players?
I think probably as much as anything, hard work. You don't get very much in life if you're not working hard. And, so I try to instill that myself and the other guys is constantly work hard. But I think also probably the most important thing that my dad taught me and any of the good coaches I've been around is just consistency. Just being consistent every day, being the same person every day. The players know what to expect. You know what to expect from the players, but just being consistent, just being that same person every day when you walk into the office, that you're going to give your best, you're going to work hard, and the kids know what they're going to get every day when they walk in.
Well, Coach Nix, again, we congratulate you on your success this season so far. We wish you all the best this Friday night. We'll be watching on the Game of the Week, and we hope to see you in Auburn in a couple weeks. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. We are thrilled to welcome to the program now Auburn High School football coach Keith Etheridge and lineman Braden Joyner. Welcome to the program, guys.
Great to be here.
Well, you guys started off this season really strong, beating Hoover on the AHSAA TV network, and then Fast forward all the way to this Friday night, you're going to have your next game broadcast on the AHSAA TV network here in the semifinals of the state playoffs. Coach, tell us a little bit about the journey between those two games.
It's been a great season this year. We're 11-1 right now. Our only loss coming to Central, who we get a chance to play this week, in the semifinals. So we're excited to get another shot at them. We're excited that we're able to play in the semifinals, and excited to be representing the city of Auburn and Auburn High School.
Well, Coach, introduce us to this talented young man sitting there beside you.
This is Braden Joyner, a.k.a. the franchise, as he says. But Braden's been an all-state offensive lineman for me for 4 years. He's an unbelievable young man, already committed to play football at Auburn University. And, he's been an all-state. He was an all-state defensive lineman last year, and he's an all-American offensive lineman.
All right, Braden. So your one loss so far this year was to Central Phoenix City, and then you'll meet them again this Friday night. So tell us what you think your team needs to do differently.
We just need to come out and punch them in the mouth. Last time we made a few mistakes early in the game that cost us to lose the game. Central is a front runner team. If they get going, it's hard to stop them. So we just got to stop them, basically.
Okay, well, Coach, you have a really strong coaching history. You have won, let's see, 5 state championships so far, 4 at Leeds, 1 at Oxford. Now you're working toward another one there at Auburn. So tell me kind of what are the secrets to your success and your success at different schools?
Well, I think it just boils down to relationships with the kids and your coaching staff. I've been blessed to be involved in some great coaching staffs and been able to coach with some great men, and been able to coach some great kids. I've coached some great kids at Leeds, had some great kids. I was at Pell City for a little while, T.R. Miller, of course at Oxford, where we won the state championship, and now here at Auburn. And I think that it boils down to having a relationship with your kids, and your kids knowing that you care about them. And I feel like when they know you care about them, they're gonna lay it all out there for you.
Well, Braden, jumping back to you, Coach mentioned that you've already committed to play at Auburn University next year. So what would it mean to you to get almost like a preview opportunity if you get to play in Jordan-Hare Stadium for the Super 7 championship?
It'll be nice because my 9th grade year, me and Coach G won the state championship at Oxford and at the Jordan-Hare Stadium, and I feel like that's our special place. Coach G's like 6-0 there, and I'm 1-0 there. So if we get there, we're gonna make it happen.
Well, we want to wish you guys luck this Friday night. Like we said, your game's going to be broadcast on the AHSAA TV network. We'll be there watching, and we hope to see you in Jordan-Hare Stadium in a couple of weeks for the Super 7 championship.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all having us.
Thanks for joining us. And we'll be right back after this on AHSAA TV Weekly.
You can rely on APT for high school football. Join us live for the Alabama High School Super 7 Championships presented by Protective. Tune in November 30th through December 2nd to join the squad.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
We open this week's AHSAA football playoff highlights with defending Class 1A state champion Sweetwater traveling to Elba High School in Class 1A. Sweetwater shocked the previously unbeaten Tigers early, with LaShawn Young helping the Bulldogs jump out to a 27-0 lead by halftime. He finished the game with 177 rushing yards on 20 carries. While the Sweetwater defense slowed Elba's sophomore running back sensation Alvin Henderson, he was able to run for 198 yards, but it wasn't quite enough as Coach Pat Thompson's Bulldogs, 8-2, advanced to the quarterfinals to take on Millery this week. We move north to Lineville, where we catch Gulf Shores and Central of Clay County battling toe-to-toe in the Class 5A state playoffs. We pick up the action with Gulf Shores' talented Ronnie Royal scoring a touchdown to tie the game late in the first quarter. With time running out in a scoreless second quarter, Braden Jackson picks off a tipped pass and returns it 90 yards for a touchdown to give the Dolphins the lead and the momentum heading into the second half. Andrew Heflin would score this touchdown to give the host Volunteers the lead again, but Royal finished strong with 62 yards on 11 carries and 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving, as Gulf Shores 11-1 advances to the third round of the state playoffs for the first time in school history with a 26-21 victory over Central. Heading north to Decatur, we find the Gardendale Rockets taking off fast with quarterback Tyler Nelson at the controls. He dominated the action with 144 yards rushing, 132 yards passing, and accounting for 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 2 scores and passed for another as Gardendale rolled into the Class 6A quarterfinals with a 31-7 win over the Red Raiders. Gardendale will host Muscle Shoals on Friday night. Alabama Christian hosted Pike County at Faulkner University in one of the most exciting games of the playoffs so far. The Eagles jumped out to an early 25-0 lead. The Bulldogs clawed back with a 43-yard interception return for a touchdown by Marcellus Hodby to cut the lead to 25-14. Pike County cut the lead to 25-21 early in the second half, but ACA turned to some trickery to take a 32-21 lead when running back Corey Landers took the direct snap and tossed the ball to Avery Stewart, who finds 6'6" quarterback Hayes Hunt wide open for a touchdown pass. The rest of the night belonged to the Bulldogs defense and talented receiver Ian Foster. Pike County quarterback Amari Brown fired 3 touchdown passes to Foster, who made a spectacular grab to put the Bulldogs ahead 41-39 with 90 seconds left. The Eagles drove down close before a sack forced a 40-yard field goal try with 11 seconds left, and Pike County, 8-3, blocked the kick to preserve this stunning 2-point win. Moving back to Class 6A, we head to Tuscaloosa, where unbeaten Hillcrest Tuscaloosa and strong Saraland clashed in a battle of the Titans. It was sophomore receiver Ryan Williams who grabbed the spotlight in this one. He established himself as one of the state's best receivers by catching 8 passes for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns, rushing for 2 scores and passing for another touchdown as the Spartans won big, 56-31. Saraland also went into their own bag of tricks, leading 7-0 by faking a field goal try when holder Clint Smith flipped the pass to kicker Hunter Kirkland, who ran around the corner to score a touchdown. Saraland quarterback KJ Lacey finished with 366 yards on the night and 4 touchdown passes. Saraland will host Homewood this week in the quarterfinals. Three-time defending Class 7A state champion Thompson hosted Vestavia Hills in a 7A quarterfinal battle that was a rematch from an earlier Class 7A Region 3 contest earlier this season. Defense ruled early as Vestavia led 3-0 at intermission. Thompson came out strong in the second half, scoring 2 quick touchdowns on strong runs by A.J. Green and Michael Dewan. Green would add a second touchdown for the Warriors, and Vestavia quarterback John Paul Head added a 30-yard touchdown run. But Thompson held to win 21-12 and advanced to play Hoover Friday night in the Class 7A semifinals. It is Thompson's 6th straight trip to the Class 7A semifinals under head coach Mark Freeman's direction. And we close out last week's highlights with Arab High School's Class 5A playoff victory over the Moody Blue Devils. Let's check in with the call from the game.
And it was Arab, the Knights, defending home turf off the legs of Drake Franklin. 5 incredible touchdowns as they are victorious. Anthony Jakes along with myself, James Redden. This was a situation where defense was early, but it wasn't late in this one.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it came out the first half 14-14 and looked like it was just going to be a scoring slugfest, but Arab able to take off in the second half behind Jake Franklin, and just an outstanding game for Arab.
Let's take a look at the highlights, and this was a defensive grudge match early on, and Moody looked like they would take control because they were finding that young man Davion Dozier early and often in this one.
Yeah, they did. You had a late hit out of bounds right here, which set Moody up for the first score of the game, and McCarty doing a really good job throwing the back shoulder here to Dozier, and just looked like he was about to have a big night. Of course he did, but here a little fake punt by Arab here, keeping the drive going for them to set up their first score.
And the big catch right here by Brody McCain, and he would keep the drive alive, and first of 5 touchdowns by Drake Franklin.
Yeah, just a patient runner all night long, and we saw that. And here you're going to see just some of the Arkansas commit there. I mean, you're going to see him doing that next year on Saturdays, and just a big-time player there for Moody, Davion Dozier. A great game for him tonight.
Another strong run, but this time the run is Hayden O'Reilly, who was able to be an offensive spark for this team right when they needed it.
Yeah, that was about the biggest running play for A-Rob all night. And then this guy, again, you get him close. He does a great job, great vision of seeing it and getting in the end zone again. And here's what Cole McCarty does best, and just finding, again, Davion Dozier, who, again, goes up for it, and another big play for him. And but on this drive, Arab was able to hold. It was a difference in the game right here. They're able to get Moody off the field and able to take over on downs that kept him out of the end zone there.
Keeping it on the run is Cox, able to get a first down, calling his own number, and then the pass play that sets up another run. Strickland on the reception, and number 3, Drake Franklin, into the end zone for a score. And then the second half, it would be definitely big-time plays by Arab.
Yeah, you can see here, again, there's Dozier there over the middle, and you can see how athletic he is and hard he is to get on the ground. But you see Arab just rallying to the football, and that's what they continue to do on defense all night. And here you see McCarty with a scramble and a very athletic play, getting them a touchdown there in the second half, but that was the only one they were able to get in the second half. And you see here the big special team, probably the turning point of the game for me there, the special team mistake, and then the slant behind it on third down for the touchdown to McCain.
And here comes Franklin again, and he's off to the races. That just little stutter step just makes everybody stop in their tracks.
Yeah, that's right. And here again, you see Moody was able to drive it down the field, but Arab able to get tough in the red zone here and get a stop there. And again, they just kind of were able to make a few more plays. And this guy right here, just like Coach Osment said, he's been doing this all year and hasn't got a lot of publicity, but I think tonight he was able to get that publicity. 5 touchdowns, a great night for him.
And he doesn't want it, but let's see if we can talk to Coach Osment. Happy to be joined by Coach Lee Osment, Coach, congratulations, but let's talk about that offense and your running back, Mr. Franklin. He stepped up big today.
Drake Franklin had a great game, and he's had a great season. We're up here kind of without a lot of media coverage, and he's been doing what he did tonight all year long. And he can't do it without an offensive line. And our offensive line got really good pushes up front. A few times we had some bleed-throughs on the backside. But he did a great job finding the holes. Sometimes Frank can cut it back against the grain, and we're blocking it one way, and they'll read blocks, but then he'll cut it completely different. And he did that a few times tonight. But he's got a knack for finding, the hole. He's got a knack for finding space, and he did a great job tonight. I'm not even sure how many yards he had, but it was quite a few, and he carried us.
Coach, defending Dozier for Moody, it seems as though you guys learned how to defend him as the game went along.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, he's a heck of he is one heck of an athlete. I mean, they had 3 or 4 of them, but he was really good. He was just getting over the top of us, and we couldn't do anything about it in the first half. So what we had to do is put coverage over the top, so that we could play underneath and over the top.
Coach, with this victory, you got to move on for a road game. You play Pleasant Grove. What's your initial thoughts on playing a team like that and having to bring all this momentum and take it on the road?
Well, it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. I know they're athletic. I've seen them play a few times, and they're an athletic bunch. They're well coached. They play good defense. I mean, it's going to be it's a tall order. But, look, with this bunch, I think we could build a bridge in a week. I don't know. This bunch they believe, and they a little belief and a little confidence is a dangerous thing to a team like this. And look, this is what's going to happen this week. We're going to show up Sunday. We're going to get to work. We'll work Sunday. We'll work Monday. We'll work Tuesday. We'll work Wednesday, and we'll play play Friday. So that's how it'll be, and you can bank on it. You can take that to the bank. This bunch loves to work. They get mad when they don't work hard. So it's a good bunch. Really, really good bunch.
All right, Coach. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to send this week's highlights to David Holtzford at the email address on your screen. And don't forget about this week's AHSAA TV Network Game of the Week, the Class 7A semifinals between Central Phoenix City and Auburn High School. We'll be back right here again next week with another round of the playoffs in the books. We can't wait to see you then.
Simple and slow, learn right from wrong, work road. There was never plan B, just a path I'm taking, breaking on through on the road I'm making. I knew one day I'd get my shot, so here I am to give it all I got. This is the big time, ready, set, go. Work so hard just to make this show. Under the lights, it's time to shine. Get your game face on, cause this is the big time. First hit these streets, had to scratch a claw, made me hard to beat. They were real early mornings and late nights. Had to put in the time just to get it right. Now it's time to make my stand. Gonna show the whole world just who I am. This is the big time, ready, set, go. Work so hard just to make this show. Under the lights, it's time to shine. Get your game face on, cause this is